Looky here. Broke my only swim bait rod. Has nothing to do with this video, just thought I'd share it. Welcome back, everybody. It's been a while. Geez, I think it's been almost a month now since I've uploaded the last time. Eventually I'll catch up and I'll stop doing these recap videos unless you guys like them, then I'll just focus on this, but whatever. Anyways, into the episode. So in this video, it's my last 2015 video. I know, 2 years old, jeez. But it's the last one, and this one I was looking forward to making just because this one is very special in the sense of this is the definition of match the hatch. I found a unique bite during the fall at this lake, and it was just awesome. And the story behind it is we were fishing here. I was fishing here with two of my buddies, and just not really catching much. I was doing what I did the last video, throwing a spinnerbait, slow rolling it, and we weren't catching anything. And we're like, shit, we're not doing good. All of a sudden, like yards, like you could barely. I should not have saw this. I see a bluegill just shoot straight up into the air, and a big 3+ maybe even 4-pound bass come out for it. Just seeing that bluegill fly up there, that's just enough. That's obvious. Something's chasing it, more likely a bass. But just seeing the bass too, man, it's just ridiculous. But anyways, back to the point. We saw that. I tied on a crankbait and bluegill colored crankbait, and it was just on. I went, put 100 on my trolling motor, headed over there. Well, mine has 1 through 5, so 100% whatever, and just headed straight over there, and right away caught a 2-pounder. Obviously, it wasn't the one that chased after the bluegill, but that was the beginning of this awesome fall bite. I only got one filming day out of it because I was pretty. I'm still pretty bad with the GoPro at times, but I at least got this clip of a pike here, or probably gonna be a little farther back now, and I got a few other clips, but a lot of them weren't really good enough. I got a lot of pictures, and I could put a lot of pictures on this, but I think I'd rather just put it on my Facebook page and whatnot. But anyways, to kind of give you an idea, that day really just set this bite in motion in the sense of I would go there, and if they weren't biting the crankbait, which they were most of the time, it was just, what other moving baits are they going to bite? They were biting whatever was moving. If it was shad, I didn't get it on video, but I got a few on some trout swim baits. Swim baits work in Colorado, people. Just got to try hard enough. And I don't have the patience, so you won't really see a lot of that. But anyways, it was just a great day. This particular day I'm showing, a lot of this film that you're seeing is just our first go at this riprap, just our first down, just going down the first time. And on top of that, I had to cut out a lot of fish catches from this, and I'll probably start yammering on because I got 7 minutes of just fish catching clips. Which, I mean, it's not bad. It's just, I don't really want to do the whole music thing just because I don't need any copyright or any kind of strikes or anything. I'm just not informed about how that kind of stuff works. But anyways, the thing was every day that I was out there, it was just more figuring out how fast to retrieve the crankbait, or how fast to retrieve the spinnerbait. Did they want it slow? Most of the time for the crankbait stuff, they wanted it fast. They would just knock the piss out of it. It was just a solid. It's what you dream of a crankbait bite. And the cool part too was we were catching mainly largemouth, obviously. Caught maybe like one or two smallmouth. I know in one of these clips I caught a smallmouth. But the coolest part was catching other species. Like, I love doing that. Like you saw before, I caught a nice sized pike, especially for the foothills area like this. On top of that, like I said, I wish I got a lot of this on the GoPro, especially that first day. We caught a lot of largemouth, but we caught a ton of wiper, and not just like kind of like small wiper. I think the smallest wiper we caught that day was like 15 inches, and our biggest pushing about 18. But all of the wipers were just fun to catch, and then it's like that was the first time when we caught the wiper. The second time is when I caught the pike. The third and fourth time is when I caught like some sauger or saugai or walleye, some of those other species. The only thing I didn't catch that I know that's in that lake is a catfish, which, I mean, I don't really know a lot of people that go out there and just catch catfish all the time. But sorry for my cough. I'm kind of sick right now. Anyways, so yeah, I mean, back to this day. Yeah, I mean, it was. I want to say it was in October still too. Like it was starting to get cold. Like obviously we were wearing jackets. I tried to tough it out with some flip flops and shorts. I don't remember being too cold. If I was cold, I wasn't that cold because I was so pumped about like just catching all these solid fish and just having a good time. Kind of the main message for this kind of video is you gotta try to go and match the hatch. Like I don't care if it's I just don't care what kind of fishing it is. Like it's always just a good rule of thumb to match the hatch. I mean, unless it's like chocolate milk water, obviously the only way you can like quote unquote match the hatch is just try to throw some kind of technique. Like if they're feeding on bluegill, you want to try to throw maybe a little bigger profile and kind of swim it along or something. So like let's say a spinnerbait or a crankbait or something, or if they're eating craws, drag something. But anyways, point being though is it doesn't hurt to try to match the hatch all the time. I know it's a fly fishing term, and I just don't really care for it. but I do like the principle. Like I love that idea because I know like a friend of my grandpa's, he would go to the stream or river he would be fishing that day, go out with a net, scoop in the water if he didn't see any flies flying around, and see what was in the water, and he'd make his flies right there, like right by the river. And just that idea is just a very like it doesn't matter where you live in the country or the world. It's always just good to throw what they're feeding on. I mean, it's just basic sense. So, I mean, this is just a prime example. Like, the thing is, we got bit on other crankbait colors, but throwing a bluegill crankbait was just the ticket. Like, I get 3 more bites than the person behind me because of that. Because the water wasn't dirty, but it was clear enough that, they could still see, oh, hey, that's a bluegill. I gotta screw that guy's day up. So, yeah, I mean, it was just such a fun day. It genuinely was really fun. I haven't had this bite yet this year or even last fall, which kind of sucks because this was just such a fun bite. But my whole thing is each experience, you just take it to the next time you're on the water, and even the next body of water you go to. And that's what I did here is just I just enjoyed this bite. I mean, it was probably one of the best times of fall fishing I've ever had because it's just I went out to this lake and I didn't really have to. I honestly only had to bring one rod. I don't know why I brought more than one rod, but yeah. So we'll kind of dive right into the lures now. I just realized, sorry, I kind of rambled a bit, but like I said, I just wanted to make sure I filled up the time for all the fishing footage. So now let's take a look at some crankbaits. So to give you an idea, dang, I actually don't have the one I was throwing in particular, but anyways, just the idea, like, I'm not a big fan of live target, but like just like a live target crankbait is just a perfect example of like match the hatch. Even this Storm, this is one of their bluegill colors of a similar kind of medium diving crankbait. Yeah, I don't really have a lot of bluegill ones. I should have really thought this over. But anyways, yeah, just like I said before, I had to mess with retrieve. There were some times where if I wasn't burning it, they weren't going to touch it. But then there were other times where, you know, I could catch them burning it, but as soon as I started kind of noticing, like, you know, I'm going to try slowing it down, same deal, they just whack it. Well, I mean, like I said, even shad colors, you know, was working too. The only thing I didn't really try too much was like a craw color one, which, you know, who knows, that could have been another deal there, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to say, but yeah, like even some square bills, just like I said, I mean, it's just matching the hatch. It's not like this is like, you know, you're gonna go out to this lake, like I could go out there tomorrow and just kill them on that crankbait I was throwing. I've done that, I've tried doing that a few times, and I haven't even, yeah, this year, I've only been there once this year, so, and even then, I didn't get even I didn't even get bumped on a crankbait. So yeah, moral of the story, match the hatch. If you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it, and yeah, just hopefully I'll stop being lazy, and I'll start kind of cranking more videos out, because I got a lot to catch up on. So yeah, we'll see you next time.